Why do you continually denigrate the work of David Irving?
You can have opinions about the Holocaust, but I won't meet with anyone who says the Holocaust didn't happen.
Professor Lipstadt, I am that David Irving. And I've got $1,000 to give anyone who can show me a document that proves the Holocaust.
I will not debate you, not here, not now, not
Because
ever.
you can't. Well,
you may have heard of a few demagogues out there that are saying things don't exist and basically getting away with it.
This movie is always going to be timely. When I started on it 6 years ago, 6 years ago, people were denying everything, like climate change and saying evolution is a hoax and president's a Muslim and voter fraud is widespread and everything. So that was kind of going to be a timely movie, as well as being about the big issue of Holocaust denial. But nobody anticipated this would be as timely in these days that we're in at the moment. Our antagonist is someone who's called in the movie a liar, an anti-Semite, a racist, a distorter of history, and who is a demagogue who rouses crowds of supporters to uncontrollable passion.
do you think a 9-month-old can understand words spoken in English or any other language?
This poor little child has been taught a racist ditty by her racist and perverted father.
Have you ever read Edward Lear? Hilaire Belloc?
They haven't brought a libel action, Mr. Irving. You have. You sued because you said that we had called you a racist and an extremist.
Yes. But I'm not a racist.
Which is maybe not the easiest role to cast because, you know, some people might not want to play that kind of a role.
First of all, Tim was always on this very short list of people that we were talking about and considering for the role. But there were some people on the list whose agents, who shall of course go nameless, said, I can't even present this to my client because I don't want people to think that this is his point of view. You know, there was some concern, and Tim, when we talked to him about it, he gave it a lot of thought, and he eventually actually called Mick and told this story. He said, I took a picture of David Irving and I put it on the table, and I covered one of his eyes with my hand, and I looked into the other eye, and I saw evil, manipulative, lying, angry man. And then I covered that eye and looked into the other eye, and I saw scared, insecure human being. And I took it off, and I said, I know how to play the role. That's what Tim said.
I have to conclude that the reason you don't engage with people you disagree with is because you can't. And you might learn some facts. Facts, Miss Lipstadt, which don't suit your opinions. Well,
British law at the time, going into a court, as they say there, you're guilty until proven innocent, essentially, when this case happened. So she had to prove not only that she didn't do this to him, but also she had to prove that the Holocaust did exist in a legal sense.
It's very interesting that her character is the kind of reverse of the character that you see in most Hollywood movies that have a central protagonist like you. Someone who starts inarticulate and disempowered, and through the movie fights injustice and becomes empowered at the end, and this is a great speech. But what Rachel had to do was play a person who started like that, who is, in the movie, Deborah Lipstadt, very empowered, very articulate, very clear, sassy, a pain in the ass, as she describes herself, and has that voice already, and is told by her team the only way you'll win this case is by being silent.
We don't believe you should testify.
Why? Because you don't trust me?
No, not at all.
You think I'm going to get emotional?
Well, after today...
Richard, we were at Auschwitz. Let me remind you that I teach, I lecture, I talk to the press.
I know.
I order ideas. It's what I do. It's what I'm good at. You don't need to protect me.
No, we're not protecting you. We're protecting our case. Our strategy is to keep the focus on Irving and Irving alone. It's not a test of your credibility, it's a test of his.
One of the challenges for this film, for all of us making this film, was making sure that we told the truth not only on screen, and by the way, every line of dialogue spoken in the courtroom in this movie is taken exactly from the transcripts of the trial.
By the screenwriter, the great David Hare.
By David
great
Hare.
playwright.
And the same with all the video clips of David Irving throughout the film. But we needed to film at Auschwitz, because if we had to recreate Auschwitz, it would be inaccurate. We needed to film at the Royal Courts of Justice in London, because if we had to recreate that, it would be inaccurate. And so as we were going through the production, pre-production of the movie, everybody understood what was at stake on our side and from the people we were working with. And Auschwitz, it's a difficult situation for them, but they ultimately said, okay, we can make this work, and they allowed us to go there and actually experience and put on film for others to experience that place.